Yeah.
I would make myself a little cheat sheet, like a small paper where you only write down the activities and the timing, just for you as a little note, like, oh, hang on, yes, this is what I want to do. You don't have, because you have written the lesson plan, you know what you want to do. So it's kind of like a title and the timing, so that it helps you to remember. And a little
Yeah, it was like
is much
I had to, look at my lesson plan and okay, now what I have to do next. I was like constantly thinking.
Yeah, and then
So
it
it was like
stops
that.
the flow. So have a little paper where you just have it.
Yeah.
Makes it much easier. Makes it
Yeah.
much
And
easier.
I did the recording and I was watching it again and again. I was like, how could I make it better,
Something else. If I want them to read a text about a fairy tale, what can I use? Because I saw that there are lots of fairy tales or legends from your country in the books. So how could I make it better?
Maybe some pictures of fairies.
Okay. Yeah. Anything else?
Maybe some stories that are like very kind of famous, just to generate.
So when you pre-teach vocabulary, you can pick up some words which are already given in the textbook. Sometimes a textbook gives those words. For example, let's go back to this. Let me see if it has anything here. 1 minute. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and show you the textbook. Can you see?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Now in this, if you look at the bottom of the lesson, you will see there's a glossary given here. Okay. So those are generally the words which they think will be difficult for your students. If you want to collaborate on a project, for example, if you're working together to create something and you want each other's suggestions, then you can also use can comment. Okay. So when you allow commenting, they cannot change the design, but they can add comments. For example, if you look here, in each design, in each element, there is this comment box. Can you see add comment?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So you can add your comments here.
All right. So the goal that you have in your mind, let's take either the short term or the long term. Okay. So whichever goal that you have in your mind, you need to reflect on these 5 headings, SMART. All right.
Okay.
So you have to ask certain questions to yourself, and the questions are given here. So if a goal is something about like, I want to conduct regular activities in my class, or something like, I want to improve the grammar of my students. And that can be different classes. This goal should be pertaining to different classes. Naturally, you'll have different goals for each classroom that you go to.
Okay. On time or not.
Right.
So after vacation, I was happy with my students.
Very nice. I can understand the way when you say, you're really happy. I mean, the effort has really, paid its results.
Yes.
Students are improving. Wonderful. Very happy. So yes, you have started the classes for the 3rd and the 8th. So have you had any difficulties in taking the lesson, or were you able to do the kind of activities following the SMART framework?
I was about to ask you one question regarding this one. The last.
I want you to, Sunan and Disket, discuss these 3 questions here.
Okay.
Take a look and check if The questions are okay. All right. I'll give you some minutes, like 2-3 minutes, and you two can discuss the questions. All right.
How do you feel about speaking?
Speaking. Ma'am, I feel that speaking means we must give opportunity for the students to speak. Yeah.
Yes, sir. I think it's important because because just by learning, but just by reading it doesn't make the students very much confident. So I think we should give them some more opportunities to speak. So I think teaching speaking is as important as teaching them a topic or any content, any important lesson.
Yeah.
Yes, you're going to discuss and brainstorm ideas. For example, let's go to school material. Oh, I usually teach this and that. Okay, having in mind speaking, and you can also, of course, use vocabulary because we need vocabulary to speak. Okay. Oh, when it comes to animals, I usually do this activity or that activity. Like Son said, I use puppets. Okay, feel free to give your ideas. And films, but I want you to do in 3 steps before the task. Imagine that the most important task. Before the task, what do you do? During the task and after the task. Okay, if you don't do anything like before, you don't remember, no problem. Okay, but there will be 3 steps. Let's go.
Acquisition is not so active. It happens naturally, unconsciously, informally. So when you told me that the first class you try to talk to them, make them comfortable. Not only are your students fond of you because you are a special teacher who gives them so much time and understanding, right? Which makes their learning very comfortable, but also they're unconsciously learning. So when you're having all these discussions in your first class, you're also making them practice English. So in an informal and unconscious way, they're learning English, right?
Yes.
They're learning. They're learning how to talk, which is already a problem that you have in your classroom, that they don't talk. But by doing that in the first class, you've done a great job at making them talk.
Language. Functional language is something you don't really talk about, you don't teach, it comes to you naturally. Like, for instance, you see under disagreeing, it says, I am afraid I disagree. Does that really mean that I'm scared that I can't? Does it mean actually that he's scared?
No.